Welcome to Maximal Being,
a podcast devoted to ditching fad diets and using real science to get you healthy and feeling great.
I'm Doc Mock, a GI and functional medicine doctor who harnesses the power of gut health to get you achieving your goals.
And I'm Jacky P, a well-informed layman who challenges the experts and asks the questions that you want.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or leave a comment.
And now, on to the show. So I looked at your page and a couple things, and there was something you mentioned about like an addiction recovery process, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that more because I think one that's a very interesting way to put it. But when you say it's an addiction recovery process, can you elaborate on how do you help folks break that, right? Because if someone comes in with whether it might be just eating habit or extreme sugar tooth like myself, right? Like, what would you say are like tools that you've used to help folks realize, okay, we need to change the mental process behind eating and diet?
Yeah, I think dropping weight is a process of letting go of the excess weight and all the emotions that are tied to it. And we don't do the work simultaneously, then the weight loss isn't going to be sustainable. So just understanding that. And so for the first step is creating a metabolic shift. We need to downplay the metabolic physiological cues of hunger, because usually when we're carbohydrate, sugar metabolism, sugar burners, we've got blood sugar highs and lows, and our hormones and the fat mass is just really encouraging us to eat and crave and be addicted to these certain foods. So the first step is removing a lot of these foods and getting the body into a sweet spot where we're not severely restricting calories. So we're not hungry, we're not starving at all, we're not even hungry. But creating that shift where you're not even hungry for those things. You're not craving for them anymore. And you can do that shift, and it can happen within a week. We'll have clients coming back just crying, feeling liberated from sugar and the foods that they craved. And then over time, the palate changes. And so then you try those foods in the future and you're like, what the heck? I can't believe I could even stand this food. So there's the metabolic aspect, and then there is that process of letting go and recognizing, we use different acronyms to help, HALT is one of them, recognizing just different areas in your life that might trigger you, when you're hungry, when you're alone, when you're tired, just being aware. We'll talk about, okay, what is that one habit that you've got to change to drop this weight and keep the weight off? And it might be eating in front of the TV. So if we know that that's a trigger, then we're going to put a lot of mindfulness toward that, awareness toward that. And then we can't just say you're not going to watch TV, or, we have to replace that habit with something else. So, okay, then the new habit, the new rule is you sit down and you eat a mindful meal at the table. And then after that, you can go and turn the TV on and do whatever. So just really picking them apart step by step and pulling out those triggers and awareness and replacing them with something that is going to be better. And then we just practice the heck out of that.
Yeah, I think also, understanding the underlying mechanism for which the obesity is occurring is really important too. And that particular process will also feed into those cravings, right? So if you're having a hormonal imbalance and you have high cortisol levels, our stress hormone, a lot of the studies show that you will have some sort of craving for salty foods, right? Mm-hmm. If you have insulin resistance playing a role, those people tend to have some sort of craving for glucose, right? For sugar, for carbohydrates. And then additionally, people with gut dysfunction, you have your gut microbiome feeding into those hormones, the hunger hormone ghrelin, like you're talking about, and altering those signals. Mm-hmm. So depending upon which of those factors, and you may have all three, you need to change your physiology in order to change the internal drive and hunger that's occurring as well.
Yeah.
Back to you, Jacky P.
No, that's a great note, Doc Mock. I know you're teaming with some nerding out over there. I have a question, and I think we're close to break. So actually, what we will do, I'll hold this question for after break. have a little cliffhanger. But Maximal Beings, please hang tight. We're speaking here with Dr. Ashley and, of course, Doc Mock. And this is Jacky P, and we'll be right back.
What's going on, Maximal Beings? It's Doc Mock here. Many of you are returning to the gym now, but some are not going back. Regardless of what you plan, Rogue has got the right gear to fit your needs. I personally own a barbell set and love it. The Black Ops shorts are sweat resistant and flexible for getting deep in your squats. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/rogue for our referral link. Order 3 items and they ship for free. And as usual, it's Doc Mock, and I'm here to maximize your pathway to wellness. If you're stuck at home and cannot make it to the grocery store, delivery may be the best way to stay clean and healthy. Instacart is the national leader in the direct-to-home delivery service. With numerous major chains and food from smaller stores, you can get those local veggies sent directly to your doorstep. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/Instacart and maximize your nutrition today.
Welcome back, Maximal Beings. Jacky here, just talking with Dr. Ashley, and we have a couple questions, right? Some that she knows, some that she doesn't. So I'm very excited. So we're going to start with the easy ones. Dr. Ashley, what is your favorite exercise?
I'm going broad here. I'm going to say resistance training. I don't know if you're looking for like push up or squat, but yeah, my favorite. Oh, I guess I have 2. I love resistance training. I'm not a huge fan of cardio. Used to do cardio all the time and just saw the light and made a big change there. And then I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but Legree Fitness, there's probably some, I know there's some where you are, Doc Mock, but it's so great. It's like Pilates on steroids.
Oh, cool.
And it is so hard. And I'll bring my husband with me and he's like shaking like a leaf and he's a strong guy. So I urge you guys to check it out, but it just works the full body without a lot of impact, which is important for me from dancing. My hips and my knees just can't tolerate running and stuff. So anyway, those 2 are the best.
Okay. No, that's good. That's new. And what was it? It was Legree?
Legree, yeah. Lagree is
Legree.
The baseline. And then you'll see studios with different names that support that type of movement.
Gotcha.
Really neat.
We like resistance training around here too. So
yeah.
yes. We're big resistance training folks, and also possibly Legree fits near me because I've got terrible knees and terrible hips. So
I think you're gonna like it. Let me know when you do it and thank me when you're really sore.
I will. No, I will. I'm like, hey, listen, I can't move right now. Thanks, Dr. Ashley. I feel great.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, Legree. Nice. I'm gonna write that one down. Next question. What is your favorite health book and why?
I like the Primal Blueprint by Marxism. And I like it just because it's so great. It's so easy to read. Anyone will understand it and just make sense of it. It makes sense as to why chronic cardio isn't the way to go, why it makes sense from our ancestors as to why we need to lift heavy things, the way we eat, the way we live our life. It's not just about diet, but it's overall lifestyle. And when I read it, it was one of the pivotal books in my career where I started to question what I was learning about nutrition in my training.
Even things like playing outside, nature walking, I mean, the healing effects of all of those things.
Good sleep, your sleep routine, having a really dark room when you're sleeping, all these little things, if you can take them all one by one, just small, simple steps, and they are simple, right? It was nothing mind-blowing, but you put it all together and it is amazing.
Interesting fact, Dr. Ashley, I'm sure you know this from your background, but it was a GI doctor that invented the Paleolithic diet, and they used to be called the Stone Age diet. Yeah. So GI doctors have been owning this nutrition thing since.
That's right.
Back to you, Jacky P.
Doc Mock, do you guys like have like a club and you guys just like be like, yeah, guys, we're out here just like crushing it. Just we're gut doctors and everything's connected to the gut. And you have, Letterman jackets and matching hats and secret handshakes.
We tape up our glasses and put those pocket protectors in. That's-
I would say, Doc Mock, I'm very impressed that there hasn't been a book brought up on this podcast that you haven't been intensely familiar or haven't read.
I read a
Which
lot.
is-
I really
yeah.
do.
When do you find time to read?
You know, at nighttime, that's like, I don't watch Netflix. I just I read. So,
He reads. He's a big reader.
yeah.
And you know, and you might have a good answer for this, Dr. Ashley. What is the craziest diet you've been on or heard of?
For me, the craziest diet, and I made it up, was the candy corn diet. And it was when I was like at boarding school for ballet, and it's fat-free. And it's now, I don't think it's delicious, but I would just eat pretty much candy corn to the point where I would eat it. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I would eat it and it would like burn my throat, that amount of sugar. But it was fat free. So I call it the candy corn diet. I invented it. It didn't work though.
I'm about to say, yeah, TM, yeah, candy corn diet, TM, trademark pending, patent pending. Let's unpack that a little bit. One, were you a huge fan of candy corn?
Oh my gosh, yes. I wouldn't have eaten bags of it if I didn't like it.
Okay.
Do you like
I love
candy corn?
I adore candy corn, and I think I'm the only person who does, because Halloween, everyone's like, "Why are you eating that?" That's like junk. And I mean, I'm sure Doc Mock don't look at me, but yes, every Halloween I have a little bag of candy corn.
Every keto listener just swerved off the road just now with the candy corn diet.
I mean, pretty much, honestly, candy corn gets a bad rap, and those of us who eat candy corn and enjoy it also get a bad rap because everyone's just like, oh, they stopped, you know, candy corn's terrible. One, yes, I admit candy corn is junk in the bag, but with balance, right? We spoke about this before, right, Dr. Ashley, right? There's got to be balance, right? And for me, one of my things is candy corn. I have a sweet tooth. The belly monster that I have says consume sugar.
Yes, yeah.
And
I mean,
you know,
one thing I do disagree with though is eating everything in moderation. So I do have to stand with, like, I think that phrase has caused issues. So balance, I guess we can define that in many ways, but eating everything in moderation, I've got to say, doesn't really work unless you want to feel kind of moderate. But anyway, the candy corn thing, it was way back then for me, and it was intense. But
do you eat candy corn now?
No, I don't. I don't even have the desire for it. My kids bring it home, and I'm just like, I don't even look at it anymore. See how change can happen.
I still go pretty hard for candy corn. I only see it once a year, and it's usually like a small bag with like 5 or 6 of them. I'm like, 5 or 6 candy corn over 365 days. I'll take those odds.
I mean, we pulled the literature, right, Jacky P? You know, if you go 95% of the time, the research shows that if you have a, you know, cheat meal once a week, you will do better the other 95% of the time. So
there you go, candy corn.
Yeah. Boom.
It has a place.
I support you, candy corn. If I'm the only person left.
I appreciate that.
Another question for you. So you talked about, and also I love the imagery of thinking of this tiny monster in my belly, almost like a Jekyll and Hyde situation, just like telling me to consume, you know, terrible foods, right? 2 questions, right? What would you say if right now, right, it's someone says, you know, they're listening to this and like, you know what, I want to take 3 immediate actions, right? And of course, one size doesn't fit all for everyone, but right, we can speak to more high level things. Like, I want to take 3 immediate actions tomorrow. I'm motivated to start getting that tummy monster out of my life. What would you say would be those 3?
Number 1 is to get outside support. Some kind of support, accountability. Dropping weight is complicated. We feel like we should be able to do it on our own and increase our stress there. Cortisol goes up, shame and guilt when it doesn't work out, because statistics show that 95% of diets we do on our own fail, and they fail quickly. I think the studies show that we regain the weight that we've dropped in general within 6 weeks. So it happens quick. And then we think, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. I couldn't do it. There's no way. And we lose hope. And it's just this vicious cycle. I look at, getting support to drop weight, just like an athlete hiring a coach. You wouldn't look at them. You'd look at them as being crazy if they didn't have a coach. A recreationally active to Olympic level athlete is going to have a coach looking at them from an outside perspective, just like I did as a dancer. There's no way I could have made it as far as I did without someone helping me. So I think that's a really big deal, and not feeling shame for getting outside support and helping someone figure it out and holding you accountable. I think that the second thing, if we look at behavior, is to create an identity and live in alignment with that identity right away. So what is it? Who do you want to be? What type of person? If it's lean, vibrant, and fit, then what would a lean, vibrant, and fit person have in their pantry? What would they have in their fridge? How would they wake up? What would their morning routine be? How would they move throughout the day? All of those things. And don't wait until it happens. You have to live within it right now, as if you've already achieved that. And then if we look at it nutritionally, I would give one tip, and that would be to pretty much drop out the carbs at breakfast time. Not eating skim milk and cereal and a banana and a glass of orange juice in the morning, but maybe looking more at eggs with some veggies if you like that, or a cup of coffee with cream in it. If you're not hungry, you don't have to eat breakfast. So just, looking at the first meal of the day and taking that as the most important meal of the day, just because it is going to have the most profound impact on how you metabolize stuff the rest of the day. So those are my 3 tips. I hope that made sense.
Those are fantastic. I mean, I also really enjoy that they were more mental again, right? They say dress for the job you want, not the one you have. It's similarly, right? You should be the person you want to be. I love those answers.
Paleo, keto, vegan, and carnivore. Maybe you've tried them all, but did you have success? Are you still doing that diet? Turns out there's not just one diet right for one particular person. By understanding how your body works and the relationship behind your body's workings and these diets, you can then approach the perfect plan for you. In the Perfect Human Diet course, we talk to you about your body's inner workings and the pros and cons of each plan. We discuss how our ancestors ate and have eaten, and lay a framework to tailoring a plan that is perfect for you. To learn more about the Perfect Human Diet course, head to maximalbeing.com/courses to find out more. And as always, I'm Doc Mock, and I'm here to maximize your health. You cannot supplement your way to health, but there are things that we need to add to our lives that can maximize our pathway to wellness. The American diet is virtually devoid of omega-3 fatty acids, which play a major role in cardiovascular disease, gut permeability, and mental health. Personally, I take omega-3s every night, and iHerb is the best place for clean, natural sources of supplements. I love the ZenWise omega-3 fatty acid supplement, which is free of fish burps and good for the environment. Head on over to maximalbeing.com/iHerb, that's IHERB, and enter the code B as in boy, D as in dog, B as in boy, 5528, and receive 10% off your orders for all supplements. Maximize your supplements with iHerb.
I got another question for you, and this one is definitely has nothing to do with nutrition. Has anyone named their tummy monster? Like, is this a thing? Like, has anyone said, hey, you know what? Finkel has said to have donuts for breakfast. Like, has anyone like personified it and turned it into an enemy?
Often, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the belly monster. Yeah, so I've heard Jekyll and Hyde, or maybe they had a friend they didn't like in their past, and they're like, Sally needs to go. you know, an ex-husband, something like that.
Wow.
Is it Karen again? I feel like the Karen term is like poor
Oh, yeah.
Karens, you know?
Poor Karen.
Karen.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have a good friend whose mother's name's Karen, and she's a lovely woman, and she's just, that's it.
I
Okay.
also like that you're bringing breakfast back. I feel like breakfast got ruined, you know?
Yeah.
Cereal, oatmeal, you know, healthy fruit. People are just doing it wrong.
So unfortunate.
Yeah, and unhappy colons too. You need fat to move that colon in the morning.
That's right. Now I'm asking you a question. I don't know if that's allowed, but
It's totally allowed.
okay. I've heard that the first or the largest, what are my words? The first preemptive type of food that helps a bowel movement is dietary fat.
It is. Yeah.
More than fiber. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a reflex called the gastrocolic reflex. It occurs when things are in your stomach, so just distending the stomach. But in particular, when you put fat in the stomach in the morning, right? Your colon has actually a circadian rhythm too, so it wakes up when you do. And if you give it fat, that like makes the signal to the colon go up tenfold. So fat in the morning, good for your colon.
And if people reduce their carbs, not necessarily saying keto, but reduce it from the high junk sugar foods, and sometimes find constipation, either increasing fat and then dehydration, right? Not enough salt in there. Could that also impact bowel mobility?
Yeah, you need to get proper electrolytes, in particular magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Those are the big ones. Yeah, and hydrating too. And it's not that you have to do 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. If you're thirsty, drink water. If you're not thirsty.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
And
amen, sister.
You listen to your body. When
That's
it's
right.
thirsty, you drink. Oh my gosh, we have those cues for some reason.
Absolutely.
All
it's
right.
Science.
That's the science is there. And also I would like to add to the fat thing, if anyone ever started fasting and putting, you know, coconut oil in their coffee, they will have experienced firsthand how that is way more successful than fiber to move your bowels.
Absolutely.
I remember once upon a time when I started my fasting, 2-3 years ago, I started with the coconut oil, and I went a little bit too aggressive, and then, you know, you pay the price. But I did have another question for you, Dr. Ashley, and it literally escapes my mind. It's back. I'm sorry. So I'd like to know, and if you're allowed to share a story, but I would like to know if there was if there was someone you helped particularly that maybe had a unique or an orthodox situation that, you know, maybe it was like a tough case. I'm, you know, like just something like out of left field that, you know, it was like an aha moment and, you know, you were able to help them. I don't know if you have anything like that, if there's just
yeah, all the time. I just have to choose which one.
I
mean, yeah. So I was sitting with a client the other day, and he started our program because he wanted to drop about 25 pounds. He's 70 years old guy, and happened to have an appointment scheduled with his eye doctor 4 days after starting the program with us, and always had high intraocular pressure, so high pressure behind the eye. And 4 days in changing his diet, his intraocular pressure for the first time ever with his doctor went down to normal. And then 3 weeks later, had an appointment with his regular doctor and off of metformin and his high blood pressure meds. Nice. So I just think sometimes we get overwhelmed thinking, oh, I'm never going to be able to make these changes. It's just too much. And really, I mean, it can happen so quickly. And another lady who's young and works with us at 35 years old, and so far she's down 50 pounds, but after 15 pounds, same thing with her eye pressure. And I think that kind of comes out of left field. You wouldn't think that it's going to impact your eyesight, and it just does impact every system in the body in such a significant way. Or we have another client who dropped 140 pounds, and she's dropped over 103 times. And she is just amazing, and quit her job working for an orthodontist because she just had a passion to serve others in the way that we were able to help her. And so she's now a team member of ours in one of our offices and just helping others get through what she's overcome. So I could go on, but yeah, you know, putting type 2 diabetes into remission within just a few weeks when they were on so many units of insulin and thinking that it's this chronic progressive disease when it doesn't have to be. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, I mean, that's fantastic. You know, back to, you know, how we say everything impacts everything, right, in the body, and just how helping folks maintain just a nutritious outlook, right, has impacted other parts of their life, right? Their intraocular pressure.
Yes.
That's the new one. I also know what it meant. And also, thank you, Dr. Ashley, for coming back and explain it. I didn't have to use my layman flag on there. So
yeah.
I enjoy it. Wonderful. Well, Doc Mock, unfortunately and fortunately, I'm out of questions. So if you want to wrap us up and take us away, please be my guest.
Yeah, sure. Before we do that, you know, I wanted to make sure that Dr. Ashley here gets an opportunity to share with you all of the wonderful information that she has. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that way you can see her website here.
Yeah.
Dr. Ashley, do you want to tell people what they can find when they head on over to your website?
Yeah. So our website is at myphdweightloss.com. And I hope that you find it a great website because we've provided a lot of free content, lots of videos and resources on the, right there on the videos page. On a lot of these, it's some of our clients speaking, but also us going through the science and little tips and tricks that we have had published. On the home page, I have a free ebook right now that's downloadable. And so you'll see a way that you can just enter in your email and you'll get that free ebook emailed to you. And it's called The Ultimate Weight Loss Secrets. And I've had lots of people tell me that it's been helpful and provides a lot of evidence-based simple strategies that you can implement into your life to make change. And then we have all of our different locations. We have 5 brick and mortar, but we also have our nationwide at-home program, and we serve clients from the comfort of their own home nationwide. And we do have clients probably in every state, many clients in every state. So even if you're not local to one of our brick and mortar, we can still help you if you're ready for change. And then just our social media, my handle is Dr. Lucas. And I try to provide lots of fun tips and videos on that as well.
Great. Thanks so much, Dr. Ashley.
Yeah.
Even though Dr. Ashley is a PhD and I am a licensed doctor here in the United States, we do recommend that you discuss things with your healthcare provider prior to instituting any change. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment, and head on over to maximalbeing.com. There's a ton of great information here. We're now offering a free course that you can download, The Perfect Human Diet. It goes through exactly what we were talking about today, how nutrition is individual to everybody. Send us an email at team@maximalbeing.com. And as always, I'm Doc Mock, and I am here with Jacky P and Dr. Ashley Lucas, and we are here to maximize your health.
What's going on, Maximal Beings? Doc Mock here. If you haven't done so already, leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button. Let your friends and family know. That way we can get the word out and continue to bash the bro science.